in the world that would have solved this problem. What Jesus Christ was trying to teach Philip and you and I by this discourse tonight is that there is a realm of life where you must look up to God beyond what you have. You are not wise enough. I am not smart enough. I am not intelligent enough. I am not wealthy enough. I am not connected enough. We are not the best. In everything we do, there will be somebody better than us. And the sum total of our life is more in ratio people's input than our own. There is the God factor, and there is your parents, your religious instructors, the midwife that brought you forth, the doctor that helped you, the nurse, the person that helped you through school and all that. Until we become who we are, we look back and know that there's an input of other people. And of course, God who gave us breath. So Jesus knew what he was going to do. He knew that there is a bakery in heaven that feeds millions every day. One of the prayers we pray is, give us this day our daily bread. There is a bakery, there is a realm of supply that whether you are asleep right now, it's probably 6:30 going to 7 in the evening in the Gambia. It's 7 a.m. in South Korea. So some places it's a.m., some places it's p.m. It's like 2 p.m. in the afternoon in New York, 1 p.m. in Canada. Whether it's morning or afternoon, the supply of God never runs dry because it's a supply that is dependable 24/7, 365. If you're familiar with the exodus of the Hebrew people, the Israelis from Egyptian bondage under Pharaoh or Pharaoh, when they left, God fed them with manna in the wilderness. He took care of them. He did not go and take a loan. He did not order from McDonald's. He did not go to Kentucky Fry. He didn't go to any Gambian restaurant. There was just a blessing of God. In other words, if God was waiting for all the water companies in the world to water all the plants on the earth, it's not possible. So the dew of heaven comes down, the rain of heaven comes down across every nation of the world, more than any waterworks company, electricity company, borehole, well, windmill system can ever do, more than any pump can do. And so when we look at the water well, when we look at the pump, when we look at the windmill, when we look at the laid out standpipes and all that, we can see the limit of it. If the water table drops, there may be problem. But there is no water table dropping in heaven. So the question of Jesus Christ to Philip needed Philip to answer that, Lord, physically, I think this is difficult. But with God, all things are possible. I know there is a realm of supply. I know there is a place of supply that never runs dry. So Jesus knew what he was going to do. He knew what he was going to do. And he asked that question. But Philip, like a lot of us, went into the seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling realm, forgetting that life goes beyond that. That is why we dream at night. That's why sometimes we have an intuition. We just know that we know that we know. We can't really put our finger on it, but we know. And we are not being suspicious. We just know there's a deep-seated knowing. There's an intuitive communication that goes beyond verbal understanding. And so if we're able to raise the level of our understanding above just seeing, tasting, touching, smelling, and hearing, we would access a higher realm. So when he asked him, where are we going to buy bread? Philip was thought, bread? Where? No. There's no place open now. There's no place, even if the places are open. When will we go there? When will we make the order? When will they do? Because we'll clear their orders. They'll have to bake bread. It takes a long time to start the process, to bake the bread, to take it out, to cool it down, to come and serve. This thing will take till tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, the people need it now. So any physical place that could give quality, quantity at such short notice Never, not possible. That is why Jesus turned water into wine. That's why that miracle took place, because physically it's limiting. So also your life, my friend. So also my life. And we must position ourselves for those divine opportunities and moments when God is just about to drop something upon your laps, making you a part of a miracle or a part of a great story. But if you say you can't, you can't. When we were building our church in Bakau, we had many times when it was possible to say it is impossible. When we saw the plan, some people thought we were crazy. Some people thought we were super ambitious. Some people thought there is no, where will we ever get this kind of money? This will never be built. This is impossible. But all that is history. In fact, if we have to do again, we will do a bigger one. Why? Because we knew that it was not just left to us by ourselves. No company, no nation, no organization just by itself can say it can do everything. Because, ladies and gentlemen, there are things you cannot pay for. There is equity you cannot pay for. You cannot pay for smiles. You cannot pay for joy. When somebody is defending your integrity and your good name in a place that you do not know, you cannot pay for it. You cannot pay for the sunshine. We cannot pay for water. You know, you cannot pay for that baby that runs into your arms after a tired day's work and says, "Mommy, Daddy." You cannot pay for sleep. You cannot pay for the dew. We can't. So if we're going to quantify all the things that make us who we are, it's just not possible. Nobody can pay for it. Nobody. There are times when money is not the answer. A drowning man at the Atlantic Ocean, $1 billion is no good to him. A Hummer Jeep is no good to him. What he needs is an outstretched hand from a diver, from a Coast Guard rescuer, and that is more than anything else. A woman who is in labor and is going through pains and, is in a life-threatening situation. Ladies and gentlemen, a suite in Sheraton Hotel is not the answer. And so there are many things like that. In life, you cannot pay for thank you. You cannot pay for I love you. You cannot buy a hug. And so there is a realm that we must always defer to God and say, God, this is what I know. This is how much I have counted. This is what I think it is worth. But I know this is not it. And the joy is that because God knows what he's going to do, an answer would come. So in our lives, let's defer more to the